Hey guys, it's GKage Daddy again, so time for video number 2. At the request of many of you, it's what happens after you get your visa to come to Japan. First, I have to say, you got your visa, you're gonna be a fellow Gaijin. Before it, say what you've always wanted to hear. Your Gaijin Daddy is proud of you. I know, don't cry. You deserve it. You worked hard to get here. Anyways, when you first get here, you got your visa, you're gonna get your foreigner card at the airport. Keep that safe, you need it, it's your right to be in Japan. Don't let it get damaged, numbers rubbing off, everything like that means you're gonna be going to your nearest foreigner office to get a new card made. So keep that thing safe. So once you've got that and you're ready to come, you need to kind of make sure you have a place to stay when you first arrive in Japan. If you're a student, you're probably going to get it set up at the dorm at your university. If you're with a company, hopefully they have a hotel prepared for you when you first arrive, because you're not going to have an apartment right away. So get that place set up. Make sure that you're good for at least a couple of weeks to get things organized and get your life started here. So now you need to get your money handled and get yourself a bank account. This one is a little bit of a pain. All those nightmarish stories you've heard about Japanese bureaucracy and Japanese banks, well, they're kind of true. I recommend, rather than going with one of the big banks like Mitsubishi and things like that, go with some of the more foreign-friendly or English-friendly banks out there. Shinsei is the one that I personally use. I've heard that Sony Bank has really implemented a lot for foreigner support. These banks will have English websites, allow you to sign up with just a signature, and will generally be a lot more friendly if you don't speak the language. Most of these big banks are really designed for Japanese nationals, having kanji characters and katakana readings and all these different things that you need to fill out. So if you want to avoid that, go to one of these smaller but foreign-friendly banks. Now, with that, you need to get a credit card. It's time to stop using your dad's and get your own. Big difference here is credit cards are not owned by banks. You typically will get one with a company, like you might get the American Express All Nippon Airways credit card, so you're earning miles with each purchase, or you'll get the Yodobashi Camera Visa card, where you're earning points for Yodobashi Camera with every purchase, or the Costco MasterCard, where you're getting Costco discounts. So that kind of thing, and it will connect to your bank account and withdraw from your bank account monthly to pay the bill that you've accumulated. Purchases are typically either done as a one-time thing where you do, I want to pay this all at once at the end of the month, or I want to pay it in 2 payments, but instead of paying your credit card overall debt, you're doing it purchase by purchase on the credit card itself. So it's a little bit different than what you may be used to back home, but that's just how it is here. We don't really do debit cards. They exist, but most people don't use them, and most systems can't really handle them. So get yourself a credit card, get set up, try to get yourself something that will give you points for the thing that you use the most. Okay. Trying to move fast here because some people told me that I was dragging on last time. The next portion would be getting your apartment. This can be both the most fun portion of things when you're searching and finding the right place, but it can also be the most heartbreaking because, yes, there are rejections for foreigners in some places that you're looking for. But don't worry, if you get rejected from that apartment you like, I mean, I guess you were always just meant to be apart from it. Anyways, bad jokes aside. Yeah, I mean, my recommendation is go to one of the many websites that do this. I like to use Sumo, though it's all in Japanese. They have a few websites that are also all in English. You can typically put in what you're looking for, then put in that you are a foreigner in some of them so they can be foreign friendly. But do that, and then you typically have contacts that you can call to first. Because if you go to an agency and just like, hey, show me the apartments, a lot of times they haven't pre-checked if the apartment is good for foreigners, so you could end up wasting a lot of your time. So do your research on the web first, call the apartments that you find interested in there, set up a house viewing time, and do that. It'll save you a lot of pain and a lot of hassle. The next thing, right? I mean, get your apartment set up. You can't really tax you if they don't know where you live, right? It's not a good idea though. So you need to go to the ward office and register. There's typically a ward office somewhere near where you live. If you just do a quick Google search, most of the city wards have English available on their website at least, and you can find out where it is, go there. I mean, unfortunately it is government, so you're going to be open like 9 to 5 on a weekday only, so hopefully you can get this taken care of before you start working if you're working. But you have to do this because this is tax related as well, and take it as seriously as you would taxes back home, because the government certainly will. Alright, now if you want to set up that new place and you don't want to have to borrow money from dad anymore, a good way to get things started is at the 100 yen, 300 yen shop. Your pots, your pans, your everything that you need, and even maybe some plants, they're typically all around 100 yen. If it's a bit more, it'll have a price sticker on it, but if there's no price sticker, you can assume it's 100 yen. So it's really good. It's a great way to start. You get those plates, get those cups, your house doesn't look barren. You can get everything you need. But if you want a little bit more fancy, you want to impress someone, there are other places like that. There's like Mujirishi and Tokyo Hands, and you can always go to like Don Quixote for anything. But those typically are going to be in the bigger malls. They're going to be more pricey, but they're going to be fancier. And if you want a bigger plate or a bigger cup than just these little small things that the 100 yen shop sells, it's where you're going to have to go. A lot of these places will also handle furniture too, for like couches and beds and things like that. But expect to be sleeping on a futon more than a bed, unless you're really willing to pay a premium, because beds are kind of expensive here if you want a comfy one. Otherwise, you're going to probably end up with like just a spring bed that is not nearly as comfy as if you just got a memory foam futon and slept on the floor. So, be ready to sleep on a futon. They're very comfortable, they're very nice, and they're very good for space, because sometimes, space is a problem. So, then, you get all that set up and you're ready to start, hanging out with friends and things. So one of the first things you're going to need is a cell phone to, check the entire 0 messages that I have. Hopefully you're better than that. But typically you go with like AU, Docomo, or SoftBank. Those are the big names. Cell phones are pretty expensive here, but you can bundle them with your internet for wherever you're living. We have really good internet. It varies though with places that you live. Sadly, some apartments have not been set up for fiber. It's kind of weird. I don't know why, so double check that when you're searching, but most places you can get fiber internet and it'll be very much worth it. It's really nice internet, really stable. The cell phone services are pretty stable. You're just paying a lot of money for it. There are cheaper alternatives in the cell phone front, where you can go to like Rakuten or some of the other smaller companies there that will be piggybacking off of the big ones' networks. But yeah, for the most part, it's expensive. So find the plan that works for you. You can get 5G, and with 5G, you can get unlimited data. But otherwise, you're going to be doing like a 2 gig plan on 4G just to be saving money. And, well, I mean, Wi-Fi is sadly not as prevalent in places as I would like it to be. So hopefully you don't use a lot of data if that's your thing there. So, the next thing is, though, making friends. And that one can be a bit tricky. So if you're a student, you're probably going to be good. Other students, exchange students, they're going to be friends with you. You're going to be able to meet people pretty easily. But people who are working typically have a lot harder time with it. The best thing I can say is go to meetups, go to things that people have, hobbies and interests that are shared with you there that are online, often advertised in English, and just go talk to people there. The local neighbors next to you aren't going to be very open to talking to you too much unless you have something significantly in common with them. So, don't feel bad if most of your friends are foreigners. That's pretty common because you have that shared experience, and that's very important. The Japanese nationals, there's going to be some that go to these because they want to make foreign friends. They want to speak more English or Spanish or whatever language that they're there for, and you can make friends with them and you can have some nice local friends, and it could be a great experience. Most of these people are going to be a little bit outside of the norm when it comes to Japanese culture, but it's a nice bridge to get you closer to that Japanese culture, and then hopefully make more traditional Japanese friends as well who only speak Japanese as your language skills improve. Because the more traditional Japanese people also have a lot to offer and are very interested in the outside world because they don't see it very much. They're gonna have a lot of stereotypes and they're gonna have a lot of assumptions, but that's just simply how they were raised, and they're very open to listening to what is different out there and learning these things. They find it fascinating. So when you get that Nihongo Jozu, and it's gonna happen, just realize to them, they're so happy to see you reaching out. They're so happy that you're trying to be a part of their world a lot of the times. So it's impressive to them, and a lot of them can't do that much in English. So it's very impressive to them. They're just behind to be polite. It's a thing of the culture, so just be ready for it. Now, at the request of another friend here, the last topic is how to move to Japan and not be seen as a weeb. And I'm sorry, give up. You're a weeb. It's just the truth. Anyways, there is a little bit you can do here, and that is to join clubs or organizations that are more traditional Japanese than just related to anime. If you join your local kendo dojo, or get into karate, or start doing calligraphy, or learn the taiko drums and things like that, and start participating in a lot of these things in your community, then you got a little bit of a better excuse. I used to tell everyone I came to Japan for kendo because I was doing kendo in university and loved kendo. And it was a great way to come here, and people would be like, oh, so you're not an otaku? And I'd just be like, just a little bit of one, just a little bit. So there are ways, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a weeb. We love it. We love the anime. We love the manga. Embrace it. It's a good thing. Anyways, again, I've been Gaijin Daddy. This is video number 2. Trying to talk faster, trying to be a bit quicker here so that it's not dragging on as much. So if you liked the video, hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment down. I'll try to get back to you on that one. And hopefully I can have another video out for you soon. Until then, see ya. Jane. You can get your pots, your plant, and your plants. This one's a bit harder, right? So it really depends on who you are, what you're interested in. Shoot. Daddy's recording. You showing off your Evie. Santa Claus Evie. Ivy. You come to dance. Pokemon's gonna start soon. I will. Go. Daddy's recording. My daughters. Go watch Pokemon. Okay. Sorry for the interruption there.
My kids like Pokemon, could you tell?